Hello, this is Benjamin with Lead Venture, your website company. The point of today's video will be to go over the basic e-commerce store setup for your medical website. Once we have logged into your editor, in your left-hand menu, you'll hover over Configuration, then go all the way down to the option that states e-commerce. Next, you'll reach the e-commerce dashboard. Now, once you actually have your store up and running and ready to go, this will show you detailed statistics such as how many items have been ordered versus how many have been shipped, and many other statistics related to that. The first thing we're going to do is step through our general settings. So go into the upper right-hand corner, click on Settings, and underneath General section, we'll go into Account Settings. In the Account Settings area, most of the information will be filled in for you. You simply are going through to ensure that that information is correct. Account holder name, this will be the individual that you wish to take a hold of all of the responsibility for fulfilling e-commerce orders. Their email will go here, and either your store's direct number or that individual's direct number will be here. Now, the reason that we have this here is if a question comes from your business and we're not able to identify who sent it, just as by default, we're going to go ahead and respond to this individual. Store name, make sure that this store name matches the actual name that's on your site. The store logo URL. To gather this logo, you'll go over to your website, and we'll see that in the upper left-hand corner, we have our Arrowhead Medical Products. We'll right-click on Arrowhead Medical Products, and we'll go to Open Image in New tab. In the new tab that opens, we have just the logo, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So now we can go ahead and highlight and copy the entire address from above that logo, go back to our editor, and paste that into where it says Store Logo. Now, why do we want this store logo in here? Well, the reason we want that in there is for any of the orders that get pushed through on your site, on the final order slip, this logo will be presented, as well as if you have print any memos or any type of official documentation from the system, that store logo will also be located in the upper left corner of whatever official documentation that you print from the system. Web store domain, this will be specifically the e-commerce portion of your site. In other words, it may say products, shop products, view products, something along those lines. You'll want to click to that page, and then once you are on that page, you can go ahead and highlight that particular address above and then copy and paste it in there. The reason that you want specifically your e-commerce page is essentially your system has to know what page that it's modifying. So here we have the shop hme.aridemo.com in this particular case. We'll go ahead and copy that, jump back to our editor, and we'll paste that in. Currency settings. If you're in the US, you really won't have to worry about this, but if you are one of our Canadian dealers and for some reason the distributor information and prices was put in the US standard and you'd like to quickly convert it by a specific percentage, you can convert that to Canadian dollars instead. Dealer identification. Now, this is to add distributors onto your site that you are licensed to carry official licensed dealers for. Essentially, when you find a distributor here that you want to have listed on the products page of your site, you'll enter in the account number of that specific distributor in here. In other words, the account number that you would use if you were ordering goods from that distributor for your store. You will want to go through and put in your account number for every single distributor that you want to be shown on the site. By default, just so that you are aware, all prices put onto the site initially are MSRP. Later on in this training, I will go over on how to change prices, but just know that by default, when you put these distributor catalogs on there, they will be an MSRP value. Then once you are done, you'll scroll down to the end of this very long list and click on Save. Once you've gone through and click Saved and that particular save portion has gone through, Then you'd go into the upper right-hand corner, click on the name of your business, and run that publish changes. Now, it used to be that that's all you had to do, and those new distributors that you added on or took off from this list, it would show that accurately on your site. But because we had some issues with some dealers trying to put distributor catalogs onto their site that they were not licensed to sell, you will have to get a hold of your implementation specialist if your site is not live, and your account manager if it is live, and simply tell them that you have updated the distributor catalogs. They will run the update, and then once that update is done, you'll be able to see these brands and their products reflected on your site. Now, something that is specific to only the medical division, for any of the medical brands that you put on here, you do need approval for a few of them. Golden Technologies, McKesson, and there are a few others. Essentially what I would do for any of these dealers that you're going to put on here, make sure that you get either written or verbal approval that you actually have permission to add their products to your site. Otherwise, you could run into some issues. Next, let's talk about actually setting up your web store so people can actually purchase things on your site. In the web store setup that we'll go over next, you're setting up all of the controls, so essentially people can add items to their cart, check out, and pay for them. We're going to go up into the upper right-hand corner again and click on Settings. Once you get into Settings, you'll go into Integration Settings section and Web Store. Now again, in this Web Store section, most of the information will be already filled in for you, but you will want to double check that everything is in fact correct. Now, unlike the last page where you had the general settings, a lot of this information actually will be displayed on your site that you see in this first box that you see here. So just keep that in mind. Store name, once again, you will want to match it to the store name that's presented on your site. The next thing you'll notice is the lead submission email. If you have any type of services on your site, such as CPAP servicing, oxygen tube replacement, installing of a stair lift, anything like that, or if they simply want to send you a contact form that's on your site. Any type of submitted lead through your site, this is the email that it's going to go to. These two we won't have to worry about. Moving right along. Customer service telephone, this will be on your site in the contact us area as well as on their final order sheet once they've purchased something. Your store address. Now, if you have a physical store address and you want people to know where your store address is, great, you can type this in here. That's awesome. If you are only drop shipping from the distributor and don't actually have a storefront, the address is not required for the medical industry. Now there is these two right here. They do roughly the same thing, but people have a tendency to get these confused, so I'll try to explain them in detail. Let's say that you're having trouble with one of your distributors, one or more. You're having trouble getting products from them, and rather than going through a hassle of going through and fulfilling some orders but not others, and that big mess, you can simply click on Hide Prices. Now this is going to do two things. First, it's going to take the prices on all items and temporarily change it from their MSRP pricing to call for price. Then, it's going to disable the ability to add things to the cart. Non-transactional store. This does roughly the same thing, but it does not hide the prices. In other words, it turns off the ability to add things to the cart, but it does not hide the prices. Coming soon. I'm not sure if any of you will ever use this, but essentially what this is if you have a close relationship with one of your distributors and they send you a product that is not yet available for the public, but they're sending you the information and the product pictures in order to generate hype, generate some excitement about it for when it comes out. Well, one of the required fields when you enter a product in our system is a price. So if you check on this box that says coming soon in the price field, since you most likely will not know the price of this item, as long as this is checked, you can put in coming soon text into that price field, and it'll still allow you to put it on the site. The return and shipping policy. There will already be a generic return and shipping policy on the site. Anything that you put in these two areas will override the default form that is on your site. So what I would suggest is finding the return policy and shipping policy on your site, the generic one that we put in place. And if you do want to replace it, you can use this right here. Just something that I thought I'd mention before we move on. After you're done with each one of these squares filling in the information, make sure that you go ahead and hit save. You don't have to publish until you're done with multiple pages if you like. Just make sure that before you navigate away to any other functions, that you do save. Moving right along, shipping and taxes. You'll want to put in your origin country, which will either be United States or Canada. You have your state or provenance, and you have your postal code down below. Next is states. Unless you have an employee of yours that is working from out of country, that will be potentially shipping goods from out of country, then you won't have to use the Nexus states area. In-store pickup. If you enable either shelf quantities only or on all orders, just realize no matter which one of those that you pick, it's actually enabling your customer to do two different things. If you have shelf quantity only or all orders enabled, your customer will be able to order the product online and then choose to either pay online while they're there and then come pick it up in store, or choose to pay in store when they come to pick it up. So when choosing that, just be aware of that. In-store pickup only if you are a small shop and you're only serving your local area. You could do in-store pickup only, in other words, no online purchases. Allow for back orders. If you are going to allow for back orders on out-of-stock items, just know that if you have an order in the system and you do not view or modify that order in the system at all, on midnight of the 10th day in your particular time zone, that particular order will be automatically canceled and the person's payment method refunded. Disable out-of-state orders. If you are a small business and you are fearing that you are going to get a ton of orders once you set your site live and you'd like to somehow mitigate that number, you could disable out-of-state orders and only accept in-state orders if you like. Manage shipping rules. We'll click into here. Now there are two different settings here. There are web store shipping settings and web store shipping rules. First, we'll go over to the right and click on Add a Country. We'll select our country as USA or United States. There we are. Perfect. Now, if you are familiar with bracketed shipping prices, then this will make perfect sense for you. If not, let me explain. So first of all, if you don't type anything in here at all, in other words, leave all of these three at 0, it means no matter what the total cost of the order, it will be free shipping across the board. Now, let's say that our first bracket is $25 and our order maximum, let me redo that. Let's say $15. And then our order maximum is $25. Now and then how this works is any order placed on the site from $0 to $25 before tax and shipping would get charged $15. $25.01 through infinity in this case would be, let's say, 17, so on and so forth. And of course, if you add another bracket in, it allows you to put this in here, so we'd go $22.50. There's a couple different ways that you can look at this. You can either make it free shipping across the board and just raise your prices in accordance to try to make up for any shipping costs that you may need to eat. You can come up with approximate shipping based on costs, working with your shipping company, whether that be UPS, FedEx, USPS, whatever it may be. Or you can do something that's popular. Work up in either $20, $30, $40, or $50 increments, all the way up to $200 or $250. And then after $250, you can essentially make it free shipping after that. That is an option that you have. We'll jump back out of here. Next, let's go ahead and cover inventory rules. We'll go into our upper right-hand corner once again, click on Settings, and underneath Aftermarket Catalog, we'll go into inventory rules. Now, here you will see the list of distributors that you've got for specific distributors for specific brands that you have enabled on the site. For instance, the first distributor's location is in Corona. Now, as of right now, the dropship cutoff is $9,999.00, and the expected lead time is 3. Now, what exactly does this mean? That means for this particular distributor or brand, any order up to this amount will be drop shipped from the nearest distribution warehouse to where that customer ordered from. And if they order over this amount in goods, then you at your store would be on the hook for getting those items packed up and shipped out. Now, let's say that you're like, you know what? For this particular brand, I don't want to be on the hook at all. Or excuse me, for this particular brand, I want to do all of the shipping directly from my location. I don't want any of the items to drop ship. Well, then you could simply go through and click exclude. And then no matter what the price of the order, you and your staff would be responsible for shipping it out. The only other thing I have to say in this section is your lead time. With the specific shipping service that you're going to use or the shipping service that you'll have to inquire about that your distributor uses, work with them to make sure that these lead times are accurate. And because of COVID, we all know that everything shipping related is still, even now, even though that things have opened up, is still a little bit messed up. Next, we'll go into webstore in the menu up above, and underneath catalog management, we'll go into brand exclusions. Now, brand exclusions is exactly like it sounds. Let's say that there is a main distributor like McKesson that for some reason you cannot get goods from them right now or you're having other difficulties with them. If that should be the case and you simply want to eliminate that brand from showing up on your site temporarily, you could type in McKesson Medical, and hit the plus. It would then create one of these rules. Now, when the rule is down there, for as long as that rule sits there, products from that specific distributor will not show up on your site. Now, this also works for sub-distributors. So underneath McKesson, I know that they have some 3M adhesive and bandage products. So let's say across all of your distributors, you did not want 3M to show up. You could also put 3M in here, 3M HME, and create a rule for that. Pretty nice feature. Next, we have price changes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume that a lot of you are probably going to stick with MSRP or very close to it. Just so that you're aware, there are 3 different ways in which you can change your prices. Let's go ahead and jump in and check it out. So we'll go into catalogs and search aftermarket. And let's go with a specific distributor. So let's go with McKesson Medical. And we'll hit submit. Now, of course, there's many filters over to the left that you could use to narrow down to a specific brand, certain category of product, or maybe even just one specific item. Now, if you want to change the price on a one-by-one basis, this is how you would do it. For today, we're going to go ahead and use the very first product that we have in line. You'll go through and click on the MPN. This will open up what is called the MPN datasheet. Now, besides changing the price on a particular item, you can also change lots of other things on the MPN datasheet. For instance, let's say that you do not like this picture here and you want to change it out for something else. You have 2 options. You can either upload a file that you've saved to your computer, or if you know of a picture of this item on the manufacturer's site that looks better than this that you would like to use, you could simply upload that URL. One advantage of doing the URL instead of your own file is, should they update the marketing image for this particular product on the parent site, it will also update here instantaneously. Now, this gets a tiny bit confusing. So again, I'm going to do my best to explain it clearly. First, you have product group details. Now, this you would think would be the description for this specific product. Nope. This is a description for anything that is in this product family. So they said this is an advanced stress formula plus zinc. So any of the advanced stress formulas would be in this product group. You can change, or product family, depending on how you look at it. You can change all the details that you see here if you like. But if you're looking to just change a detail about this specific size and color of product, you can go down to product details and change the details just related to this specific variant of the product. Moving along, we have two different types of price changes. You have a flat price change, which is in your price override section, and you have a sales price change that will be in the shelf quantities section. Now let's say this particular item retails for $17.99. Well, if you were to go into the price override section and do 17.99 and you hit save, then on your site, no matter what the MSRP was, it would change to $17.99. The only problem with the flat price change is, unless you tell your customer otherwise, they're just going to go ahead and assume that that is the MSRP because there's no indication to tell them that it's not. Well, let's say that this particular item normally MSRPs for around 20 and you want your customer to know that it's on sale. Sure. Go down to shelf quantities. In your sales price, you would type in 17.99 and a quantity of 1 or greater, and then you would hit save. Now, the difference in how this displays on your site is it would have the original MSRP stated, have it crossed out, and in large red print, it would have your sales price at $17.99. It would say, you save this much over MSRP, and depending on the quantity that you have left, it may display a message, you have limited time to get this deal, or something along those lines. We'll jump back out of this MPN data sheet and back to our manager. The next way that you can change prices is with a price file, specifically a CSV, just a form or format of Excel spreadsheet. For this, you'd go into the File Center. Now, a majority of the bulk changes that you can do across entire brands or multiple brands of products that you have on the site will be done through the File Center. For this specific instance, you'll go to Price Overrides, the Price Overrides section, then go to Client Import Price Overrides. You'll click here, and this will pop up with a new window. Now, we give you a template by which you are going to apply your override prices to. To download said template so that you get the right format to input into our system is right here. You click on it and it is one-click download. And you can see that it downloaded. Now we'll go ahead and open that up. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and expand this, all the columns, so we can see exactly what's going on. Now the catalog name, prior to this, I thought was the actual name of the distributor. It is not. It is the actual catalog in which it comes from. In this case, it's going to be Aftermarket, all in caps. Source name is going to be the name of your product. Excuse me, the source name is going to be which particular storefront that you have it on. Now, with this new PSS integration, you can actively change prices on 3 or 4 different storefronts. As you can see down here in the notes, you can use it to modify your prices on your eBay store, Amazon, the web store that is connected to this site automatically, and if you had a Walmart store. Because you are changing the prices on the store connected to this website and this PSS editor, you would be using webstore in there. This would be the manufacturer's part number and then the actual price that you'd like to override it for. Once you get all of your information in, file, save it someplace easy to find, like your desktop. Then once you're ready, jump back here. You'd go to the file upload, click on choose file. It'll actually tell you the name of the file you chose right here, so there's no uncertainty of whether you got the right file or not, which is great. And then you can go ahead and hit submit. Now, if it's your first time doing this or the first time in our system and you are at all nervous that you did not get the formatting correct, well, then you will want to put in your business email to receive a notification when this job completes. Now, not only does this give you an email when the job completes, but it'll also give you a report of how many of the actual SKUs went in successfully. And you'll be able to download the report. Now, if you do have any of these that don't go in successfully, here is the awesome thing about our new system in comparison with our old. If you had errors for, let's say, 20 out of the 2,000 SKUs that you uploaded, in our old system, you would have to upload the entire file again with those corrections in it. The awesome thing about our new system is you can correct those specific SKUs that were incorrectly formatted and then just upload those 20 that were incorrect and hit submit. When you are done with this and you get that email, you will have different statuses that appear over here. While the particular file is going through and being uploaded to our site, you'll see a gray status of processing. If it goes through and there's absolutely no errors, you'll see a green text that says complete. If you see a yellowish orange that says complete with errors, it means that a large majority of the SKUs went through, but there are some of them that were formatted incorrectly or simply don't exist on our site. And then finally, if you have a giant red failed, that means that the entire file is incorrectly formatted and you'll have to start over from scratch. And of course, if you see giant blue letters that say canceled, then you know that someone, either you or someone on your team, went through and said, oh, there's too many mistakes in this file, I better cancel it before it finishes uploading. Moving right along, let's get into coupons. For this, we'll go up to webstore, and underneath marketing and promotions section, we'll go to coupons. And for today, let's go ahead and do create new. Name of the coupon, let's just say 20 off is the name of the coupon. The actual code that a customer would type in when they get to the cart. So let's go 20OFF and select type. There's only two types. There's percentage off their total order and free shipping after a specific dollar amount has been spent. Since we named this 20 off, we'll go percentage off, and percentage off would be 20. And of course, we want this to be active on the site, so we'll leave that checked and we'll hit submit and close. And we can see the name of the coupon is 20 off, the code is 20 off. And of course, if they were to type this in at the time of checkout, they'd get 20% off anything that is currently in their cart. Now, a few things to remember about the coupons. They are global. So that means no matter what they have in the cart, the percentage off their total cart is going to apply before shipping and taxes. Another thing that you should know is the codes are not case sensitive. In other words, if someone was to go onto the site and type in 20 off but spell off all in lowercase, it would still accept it. As of right now, both the percentage off coupons and the free shipping after a certain dollar amount is reached are both global. So that means as of right now, they are applied to every product. There is no way right now to apply them to a specific brand. category of equipment, or one specific item. I've been told that in the future we will have this added granularity, but I have not been given a time frame by which that is going to become reality. Something I'm not going to go over today in detail, but can be done. Just know that if you have items that we do not have information for, and you'd like to add them onto the site for sale, you can by adding on what we call a private catalog. There are two ways in which you can go about it. You can go into the File Center and then go all the way down to the bottom and go Private Catalog, Import Products. Or underneath Catalogs, there will typically be a Search Private that is listed underneath Search Aftermarket. And within there, you can go in and add in your items one by one. Orders. So when you get your first order, obviously you'll get an email notification. So let's go over to Orders. And underneath Order Management, this is really easy. It only gives us one choice, Order Lookup. Now currently there's no orders in here, but you'd have the status of the order, the external ID that the customer would see, the internal ID that the customer would see, when the item was ordered, the marketplace that it was ordered on, so in this case, it would be webstore, a short synopsis of the item's order, the total amount in dollars. If they put in any special requests when putting in the order, that would be right there. And of course, to view the order would be underneath here. And that is all I have got for you. But before I let you get back to your regular day and close out this video, just know that if you do need help, there are several different places in the editor in which you get it. I'll quickly go over those now. The first place in which you can get help is in the upper right-hand corner, just to the left of your business name. It says Help Center. When you click on Help Center, the very first thing you'll see is the dedicated direct phone number and email to our large, fast-responding, helpful tech support team. Then underneath the Help Center, I've spent roughly the past 4.5 to 5 years of my career building out step-by-step articles, as well as full in-depth video tutorials on everything that you can do in the editor there. If you are not sure what the name is of the feature that you're looking for, you know what you would call it, but you're not sure what nomenclature that we would use, well, then the self-help down here would probably be a good idea. Click on the question mark. You can type in what you think it would be called. If it comes up with a match to something internal, it will highlight in green the actual area back here where that's located. And within this box, it'll give you links to articles and videos that you can click on to get more information about that section. And this next area of help that you can get is only available on the dashboard and can only be used once your site has gone live. We'll scroll down along the right side and we can see Request Update. So let's say your site just went live. You need to have something changed. You either don't have time or don't know how to, or a mixture of both. You could request that we do it for you. That is all I have for you today. Make sure to check out the rest of the videos within the Help Center. And until I see all of you again, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye now.